All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hot and Sparky live tonight. So I've got my co-host Ian. We don't know what his name
Burrito
is yet.
Bandito
He's all right.
for
He's going
now.
with Burrito Bandito today, unless he sealed the deal though. So and we got a special guest today, Lukas. Say hello, Lucas.
Howdy doody.
Very nice to have you on today and every other night. But
It's a
Right.
pleasure to be here. Sir
Thank you.
Tones a lot.
Oh, thank you. So, um, there's a lot of people out there like on quarantine and shit, right? And
Haha, nerds.
It's not very
no, it's
nice.
just I wanted to get everybody's view on that because all of us are technically essential workers right now. So,
That's
Yeah,
very true.
currently.
we don't really get. I don't know. I don't know if you guys feel like the quarantine, like are you even feeling any of that?
No, me personally,
Absolutely
no.
not.
I haven't been to a store since most of this has all happened. So I haven't been. I guess I'm fortunate in the sense that I haven't even had to see the tape lines outside and waiting for toilet paper and
I
all
mean,
this crazy shit going on.
right? I don't know. It just you're right. I haven't been to the store in like a month, and I don't know if that's part of it in the fact that like, not that I did anything different, uh, but you see it in the news, you see it on Instagram and all that, and Facebook for those who use Facebook. I don't personally use it, but um, you see all the crazy shit. But it seems like business as usual for some reason.
I think
Well,
I think it kind of depends on where you're at
You think so?
that too. Yeah, because we're not.
geographically. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? We're
Right.
not in a in an area where it's like super metropolitan. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would imagine if we were somewhere, like Sacramento or somewhere in the Bay Area, it'd probably be a little more hectic. Shit would probably be a little harder to find.
Yeah.
Food stores probably be a little more empty. I would imagine.
I mean,
But I'm
right.
gonna be honest with you
yeah.
guys. This whole quarantine bullshit has not affected me in the least.
How so?
Same.
My schedule has not changed. I'm still going to work doing the same thing. Bro, I got up today and I took my fucking dogs for a walk.
Right.
I walked my dogs for an hour today.
I know. Maybe I'm just taking a different approach. I mean, I literally go to work and then go home. I don't
Yeah, and
really.
see, I've done the same.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
literally
but
there's
versus
like a
what?
few. Well,
Um.
normally, see, I've avoided every stop that I can. I've even avoided gas stations as much as I could possibly. I don't for like Sparky's saying, like legit, I am either home or work. There's no real in between, with the exception of eventually me getting gas.
Hmm.
Yeah. See, the good thing that I got going is I don't really fuck with people like that. So going home after work and not really going out or doing anything, that's pretty much like my forte.
Right.
Right.
That's my
Right.
shit. I enjoy that. I'm definitely an introvert.
See, maybe that's part of it too. Cause I don't know. And I think another part of me not going anywhere too is like I have literally tried to avoid actually going out.
Right.
Maybe
Same.
because part
Yeah.
of it, like I purposely like you said, you try to avoid even the gas station, which is funny because you don't even have to go in.
Right.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Well, yeah, but the gas stations are. I don't know, man. You got
Yeah.
how many people
The
touch
germ
that fucking
hub,
gas
right?
pump
Yeah,
handle that,
exactly. And
or the door
I think
handle
about
going
that.
into
I
the store?
definitely think about
But
that every time I
Yeah.
touch
Or
one of
even,
those. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I
exactly.
wonder
Even
if
just like the keypad
yeah,
to use your ATM card.
that's funny because
Like a little life hack. Go to the window washing dispenser and grab one of the paper towels before you fill up,
dude,
and just use that to throw on there. I mean, it may not be great. It's
I'll
not
just grab the
obviously
whole
like
damn
foolproof,
squeegee
but
and just squeegee the
right,
I
whole
and just
just
goddamn
start.
thing.
I just fucking hock a loogie on the handle and then grab it. I don't even
No,
care.
come on. Oh, got your own germs on there? So my germs are
Yeah,
cleaner
hell
than the
yeah.
ones that are on
My
there.
germ.
So,
Exactly, bro. My germs are gonna kill their
God.
germs for sure.
Oh shit, that'd be great. Someone sees that shit, they'd flip the fuck out. Oh my god, I just caught this guy with a
What is this
brony.
guy doing?
He's trying to spread it. Yeah, he's gonna get hit with like was it terrorism?
Oh my god,
Like
dude.
bioterrorism.
Oh, did you guys see that thing about
Yeah.
the fucking tiger that's got COVID now?
Wait,
A
what?
tiger?
Yes.
They ruled out.
What?
I could have swore they ruled out that
Yeah,
it's
I thought.
only human to human.
No,
Yeah.
dude. They let me pull it up real quick. This is from the
Oh,
BBC
God.
News.
Oh, my God.
Tiger at Bronx Zoo tests positive for COVID-19.
Wow.
A 4-year-old female Malayan tiger at the Bronx Zoo has tested positive for the coronavirus. The tiger's name was Nadia, believed to be the first known case of animal infected with COVID-19. I guess, long story short,
Bro, can you
One of-
imagine how much beer that tiger had to have drank in order to get that shit?
seriously,
Right.
straight
Well,
corona.
I'm actually
beer.
thinking. What
It's a
I'm
lot
thinking
of
is I
Ronas.
knew a Nadia and she didn't have any. She had everything else but COVID. So
Oh my god. I can't say I've ever done a
She had the other one that started with C. I don't remember
yeah,
what the name
yeah.
of it is.
Well, Malayan tiger, bro. Is it from China?
China.
China.
Oh,
Malayan? Well, I would assume it's Malaysian.
Right?
Or
How could you
right?
say that? That's so inappropriate.
I mean, I guess
because they're
ignorant
from
to
China.
all the species of tigers out there, but
is it coincidence that we have, Tiger King come out, and all of a sudden, fucking Tiger at the Bronx Zoo gets it? Oh,
You know
Nah,
whose fault it is,
I think
bro?
it's
Look at-
it was
motherfucking Carol
newsworthy.
Baskins,
Yeah,
bro.
It's
Throw that
Carol
bitch in
Carol
jail. Lock her up.
Yeah.
Throw away
Check the
motherfucking
septic
key.
tank.
I'm looking at a picture of this fucking tiger, dude, and it looks fucking dope as fuck. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
Uh, It's gotta be Carol Baskin, dude. It's
it's gotta be. Well, no, I think that's the only reason why it's relevant right now is because obviously it's popularized, right? Someone's like,
Well-
"Oh my God, we got a news break," so we're gonna report on this
Run
tiger
with it.
this unfortunate tiger that's now
Well,
gonna have acute respiratory.
I'm gonna have
you
to
know.
I'm gonna have to debunk this because they're saying this is the first ever animal infected COVID, right? Well, I guess in the U.S. Okay, I was gonna say, what about the fucking bat? Right?
Well, okay,
Yeah.
that's what they're claiming it was the
That's
bat,
but you know what? Did you guys also hear about the guy that worked for what was it, Harvard? He was the
Yes.
Yes.
head chairman
Yes.
for the board of
The whole-
chemistry or something like
right?
that.
Yeah, and
Was
he
it
was,
Harvard?
And he was
indicted,
working
wasn't he?
with Chinese militant people,
The-
and he got caught trying to smuggle.
He was addicted.
vials
Harvard
of-
University professor
yeah.
and 2 Chinese nationals. Let me see.
Nationals, that's
Oh,
what it
this
was,
is
yeah.
from actual. Oh, wow. This is from the actual justice.gov site.
Yeah, this is really happening.
Yeah.
Right. I remember this
It-
happening earlier. This was like prior to that. I haven't read the whole thing on it, but I did get somebody posted something on it, and again, take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, he was like setting up a lab and shit for them, and I don't know. how much of
Right.
it's
Well,
true.
and-
Yeah, because he
all
got
funded.
funded. He got an American
Yeah, by-
grant.
Right.
From Bill and Melinda Gates, who also own most of a 30% shareholding in the vaccination market.
That's right. Didn't Bill Gates say something about this virus like 5 years ago? And I think he
Right.
used the name of it as well.
Yes. So it supposedly was a variant of what they were developing at the time. Was I'm at the and that's from what I've read. However,
Plot
I
twist.
have right. So and then people have been shooting him down for saying that the world is overpopulated and needs to be depopulated. He said things like this in the past.
Right.
Where that's sourced
Well,
from,
I
I
mean,
have no clue. This is all
is-
hearsay.
Is
But-
he really wrong? There's a lot of
well, it
stupid
depends. I
fucking
guess it
people out
depends.
there, man.
I guess it really depends on what part of the world you're in.
Bro, we just need to start
Yeah,
to learn how
that's
to
a
live
good
in the
point.
ocean,
Right.
Oh, dude, that's the key.
right?
Yeah.
Mermen,
That's the
mermaids.
key.
Ocean living.
Our
Well, we're
body's
trying to work
already-
on the moon, right?
Well,
Talking about lunar
yeah, that's a
life at
little
some
more-
point soon.
Bro. But what if
I
you
think the moon is a little more attainable.
what is it said that if you go to the dark side of the moon, it's fucking ridiculously cold?
Well, yeah,
I don't know. I
Like
haven't been
stupid
there.
cold? Like I heard it's stupid ass cold.
it just sees no sun.
Right. So but it stays
mean,
on
that
that
would
side.
Always
It doesn't
faces the
rotate,
sun.
right?
Right? No, it matches rotation with.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay,
I thought that's
okay.
where all the like Nazi space station bases were.
Yeah,
Like that's where the
That's where they're
Decepticons came
keeping
from.
it.
Decepticons. Yeah. Actually, yeah, the Call of Duty Zombies thing
Hitler
was
took
an actual
off.
real.
Oh my god.
They
I think there was a movie about it where like the Nazis
Yes,
had
Nazi
a fucking,
zombies.
they had a base on the moon during World War II. It was kind of weird. Like I think it was
I
one of
don't know
those
why you'd put
B-grade
it on the dark side of the moon,
flicks.
considering you wouldn't be able to see any part of Earth while you're there.
Right.
Maybe
You're
that
always
was the
looking
point.
at the sun going, "Man,
Right.
fuck this thing."
Fuck this thing.
Well, you wouldn't be
Yeah.
looking at the sun, right?
No, he
No,
wouldn't.
you
Well,
wouldn't. So you're just
it
looking at
depends.
the
He'd be
acid
looking
It
in the
into the
depends.
planets.
abyss.
Right. There. Well, not even that. You'd have so much glare. I don't know. Have you ever tried looking at the stars when the sun's in your face?
Dude, I try not to look at the sun at all.
Trick question, motherfucker. The sun is a star.
Exactly.
That was a trick question. Oh,
Got him. But yeah,
oh man,
so funny.
that's probably where the Roni came from.
You know, I wanna joke around. So I threw up I had my story, right? I know you saw my story. I threw up on Instagram of me at work,
Right.
and
right.
I actually had someone I had talked to and met on Instagram a while back. More of an acquaintance or whatever. He just had similar
A
interests,
boyfriend,
and
yeah.
he kind
Gay
of pretty
guy?
much.
Yeah.
And he kind of joked around, and let me see. He said a quote. What was it? Let me look here. So he told me that he was basically
I
bringing
see
up
my
the
homie Ian
essential
still has a
worker
big-ass
life,
dick. Was it
right?
something like that?
He was just kind of laughing. He's like, "Oh yeah." He called me an essential looking.
Yeah.
An essential looking
that's
what?
a compliment, bro.
What did he call you?
Essential looking motherfucker.
Oh, okay. Did we lose Ian?
Oh, maybe we did.
Uh-oh.
You're fucking up the podcast, E.
We lost the co-host. How does that work?
What the hell?
Oh man, he's over there texting the boyfriend right now. Oh shit.
He did. He was looking at the dick pic and
He
dropped
just
his mic on accident.
damn dude, mic drop. It was that enormous.
He can probably hear us right now. He's hella mad his
Yelling.
batteries are
Just,
dead or
oh,
something.
his batteries died. That's so funny. Probably did. Oh, the troubles of podcasting through Xbox. Oh man. He's over there scrambling for batteries. Ah!
Doesn't Ian have a gaming PC?
No, he's got a motherboard. Yeah, we totally lost Ian right now.
Yeah.
Okay, he'll jump back in right now. No, he actually bought a motherboard and he was working on setting one up, but I don't know, just kind of been having the need time to build it or something. It's just been kind of sitting there. It's actually in my shop, of all things. But yeah, we're
Was that
working
the
on
one that
getting
you
them
were
set.
showing me today?
No, that was actually my little. I got a little other build sitting there that I was messing with.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Okay,
There
technical
he is.
difficulties.
There you go. Co-host
Okay.
is back. So
Goddamn
So
coronavirus.
the dick was that good that we lost you. What happened?
No, you said he said you look like an essential looking motherfucker.
here we go again. Wait.
No, you're here.
All right, am I here?
Yeah. You're,
Okay.
You're good.
Yep.
You're good.
So, did you guys hear? What was the last thing you heard me say?
Essential looking motherfucker.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So he called me an essential looking mofo, right?
Mhm.
And I want to bring up the topic that do you think the term essential workers, obviously people being so triggered so easily nowadays, the fact that we're working and a lot of people aren't, do you feel like that would build any type of social tension?
Let me tell you something
Absolutely.
right now, dude. I didn't do it on purpose. I was putting up
Right.
these posts with this new chest rig I built, right? And I put only the essentials. Hashtag only essentials, right? And it
Right.
didn't come to mind, and nobody said anything, but it didn't come to mind till later. Someone did say something. Said, "Oh, lucky you, man, hell yeah!" And I was like, "Oh
Oops.
my
Wait.
god!"
Right, you're thinking the essential tools.
Right.
However, this
Right,
this
right.
person is obviously taking it like, oh, like I'm gloating that I'm working and you're not.
Well,
Hey, well, you know
right.
what? You know what? At the same time, though,
I didn't
if
even
it's
think
one of
about
those
that.
if it's one of those fucking pieces of shit that went to college for 4 years to get
No.
a fucking liberal arts degree, then he can get fucked
This
because
guy,
that's what you fucking get.
I do recall following this guy on Instagram a while back, and this goes back from when I was doing graffiti and stuff. And he's like a carpenter, and so all his work has stopped
Oh,
now officially. But he wasn't meaning it like that. I know what he was talking about. He was just like, "Oh, it must be dope," but I didn't catch that till after that. So now I'm like, dude, I don't. Like,
maybe I'm a
grateful.
fucking asshole.
You know, like, oh, you asshole. You know, I am grateful to still be working.
Same.
Yeah,
Whatever
me too.
the conditions are, but again too, because we are working, we also gotta fucking watch ourselves.
Obviously,
In the
yeah.
sense, that
Yep,
people think,
absolutely.
oh man, these guys
Every
are out there
time you
just
go out.
working. Yeah, you every
Right,
time you go
yeah. Every
out,
time you go out,
Yep.
you running the risk of running into
like
or
you think about it,
infecting yourself with.
and and I hope that other people are doing the same. And I know this whole like quarantine thing and blah blah blah. And some people are skeptics, and others are not so much. But whether it is or not, are you willing to take that chance right now? Right, like
Right.
to be like,
I'm
it's
a
all
I'm a gambling man.
See, I am too. However, I'd feel like complete shit if I
here's
ended
my
up
thing with
catching
it.
it and I brought it back home.
Right. That's my thing. Is like,
Yeah.
it's not even just that. Like, the chances are, we're in that younger age, right, or middle age, where apparently, and I don't know how true it is, that the numbers keep changing, that we're actually more susceptible to being more, not just being more infectious, but more deadly to us than actual old people apparently now. I'll have to try to remember.
I didn't hear.
No,
I heard it was the
that was
opposite.
well,
Yeah,
that
I
was
heard
same.
we
originally
could catch it, but we were carriers.
Yes.
That
More
was
often.
We're more prone, and which is probably
was
because our
originally.
age group are usually more active socially.
That used to
we're
be
more,
the case.
Right.
And
Yeah. Well, it used to be. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
If bars
things-
were still open
right.
and all that thing, I'm pretty sure it would still be the case.
well, either
Yeah,
way,
but you know what? At the same time, I'm pretty sure that majority of the people that are dying from this already have pre-existing health conditions.
right.
You got to
And
remember,
that's what they've been
any
saying.
sort of
It's an
immune
immune system
deficiencies,
thing, correct.
that can even come down to asthma. People with
Yeah.
I was listening
asthma
to
are more likely to die from it than people who don't.
Right. And that's the other
Obviously.
thing, is that we have this like almost responsibility to actually just go to work and just go home as much as possible. In the sense that you think about it, I work with a lot of people, both Ian and I, that are older. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
whether or not it is the case that older people
Close
are
to
more
retirement.
susceptible or not, how bad would you feel not knowing you have it, being asymptomatic with it, and then going to work because you
And
decided
giving it to fucking
Right.
old man Jenkins that
Exactly.
is 2
He's
weeks
about to
away from
retire and-
retirement.
yeah, off 6 months. Yeah.
You're right. 6 months from retirement, and old man Jenkins.
His
You know
whole
what?
life's work
dies.
You
is
know
about
what
to
you know what I
just,
say to that?
Oh,
One
shit.
word. Darwinism.
True.
In a sense.
Survival
I,
of the
I,
fittest,
I can see
baby.
that in a sense. They do have
If
the
they
option.
want to depopulate the earth, they're gonna do it.
Well, Mother
But the
Nature's
shitty thing
a
about
bitch.
the shitty thing about population control is you don't control who dies.
And that is true. That is true. You more than likely
Yeah.
you keep the stronger. Well, I'm not saying either lucky or stronger immune system folk around.
Well, then we're technically talking what, genocide?
Essentially, yeah. If that was the case.
Yep.
Genetic genocide, right? Like you're talking
Mhm.
who's got the stronger genes
And
and
there was some guy
health and
who put up a post a while back about a video. He posted this video, and he was talking about. He's like, I'm no doctor. He's like, I am. What does he do? He works with numbers, as in the sense that he worked in the stock market, and he started
He's
bringing
a
up.
mathematician.
I wouldn't say mathematician, but he worked in the stock market a lot, and numbers were his thing, right? And he's like, dude, if you look at the numbers, he's like, I'm not, and this is just a theory. This was a theory that got brought up,
statistics.
and he's like, if talking about China putting it out instead of just it being a normal thing, and
Right.
he was saying, if you look at the numbers, right, the population number that China has. And they have already figured out, you're going to lose a certain percent of the population, but not a great percentage. He's like, you're willing to take that chance at what? Passing it to other countries and then becoming the next superpower.
I don't
Because-
think so.
Uh,
I don't think it
That
quite
sounds,
works
that
that
sounds a
way.
little far
Now,
fetched.
this is very vague because I don't remember the whole video, and I'll have to pass it out when I find it. But everything he was saying was like a pretty good conspiracy theory, in the sense that the way he was explaining it was like, hey, they put it out, right? They lose a little bit of economic power for the little bit, but they know how to handle it, right? So they figure out how to handle
bounce
it.
back Better
They-
than any other country.
Exactly. So then, while all the other countries are still trying to figure it out, with them not giving anybody any advice, who do they come to for the rest of the stuff they need? We already need supplies from them.
The only superpower that's already economically rebuilding.
Exactly. And so
That's interesting.
what's losing 10,000, maybe 30, even 30,000. Let's say they lost 30,000 people. I don't remember what the numbers were.
Bro, say they lost 3 million people, they're still not going to be that devastated.
They have one.
There's
No,
a
not
shit
at
ton
all.
of
Their
those
population
people over there.
density is absolute ridiculousness.
China's
Like,
population
Yeah, in
is
Hong Kong, it's like
1.3
I can't remember
billion
what it is per
people.
square mile.
in China.
Yeah, I think if they
Yeah.
lost 3 million, they would be like, "Oh man, that sucks."
Right, and that's not
But
that's a
it
big
is what
number,
it
but
is.
they'd be like, we're willing to take that chance for what? Billions of dollars, and billions and billions and billions and
And
billions.
the fact that
and
this all
billions
happened around
and
the time
billions
of them
and billions.
protesting and
Well, not just that.
That's
his
what I
arg-
thought was in the timing.
His
was very
argument,
Well,
man.
they're
coincidental
all-
for
yeah.
the riots and stuff in Hong Kong.
His argument about why they would do this is because of that pact that Trump
The
put
trade-
with them,
trade
the trade
agreement,
pact,
yeah.
the trade agreement.
Hmm.
That hey, you can't steal people's technology anymore, bro. You gotta work with us here on this and that. And they said, they got the shitty end of the stick, obviously, because that's how they do business.
Hmm.
And they said,
Right.
well, bring out Plan B, boys.
Fuck them all.
Fuck them all. I mean,
Hey, you remember that bat that I gave you a couple weeks ago? Hey, go ahead and put that fucker
how'd
out.
you like that soup? Oh,
It'll
boss,
make
this
its
was
way.
great. Hell yeah, this is good shit, boss.
Have you guys watched The Kingdom on Netflix?
No.
I have not.
I don't
Oh
have
my God, you gotta
Netflix.
check it
I'm
out.
missing out. I'm missing out on Tiger King.
You gotta check it out, man.
I'm
It's
going
crazy.
to. I'm gonna
This
get
this
Netflix.
this kid
Mhm.
gets infected with this disease and
Uh-huh.
it kills him. And these people in China are like, they're starving. They're like it's like a little village. Like it's back in the day, like samurai days and stuff like that, right?
Like Wuhan?
Probably a little more.
Coincidental?
Um,
Anyways,
I
right?
would say animistic almost, but
Right.
anyway. So what do they do with the fucking kid once he dies? They fucking cook him into a stew, and they feed this
Oh,
village,
what?
and this village gets infected, and they're like daybreak zombies, bro. It's a
Bro,
trip,
Then like that episode of
an
Walking
absolute
Dead
fucking trip.
where he's like, I got
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he gets the rest of them.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Like, you're eating me.
You got me. Oh, shit. That's dope.
How's my dick taste?
Eat it. It's juicy. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Damn. I mean, it's crazy shit, man. I just, yeah. I don't know about going out,
Like,
man.
I don't know. See, like, I feel like I've already done my quarantining last year, being that I was off for what I was off for. I had
Right,
the whole
being at home that
almost
much.
6 months.
Yeah,
I was at home
crack
all
addiction.
the time,
Kids
so
take
I
shit.
know. Yeah, it's the crack
I'm
addiction.
gonna take up meth.
Yeah, talking about booty crack. But oh god, and tigers, meth and tigers,
Meth
and
and tigers,
husbands
bro.
apparently.
Yeah.
And get you
Hell
some
yeah.
husbands too.
Better
So-
stock up on your sardine oil.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
shit. But yeah, I honestly, it's kind of crazy. I can see obviously I honestly, like today when I came into work, dude, I honestly didn't see that much of a reduction in traffic. Obviously people aren't sheltering in our area as
It's
much
interesting
as
that
you'd
you
think.
say that, because I have noticed a very big difference in the flow of traffic, but
Really?
I also take a highway.
Right,
to
you
work
get
every
on the
day.
freeway, yeah, and see, I
No, I don't even
literally,
get on
I
the
only
freeway.
have-
I only take 120.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
That's
you're
it.
right
You
there.
know, you
Yeah.
know what's funny is that like last night, or actually I should say tonight, on my way home, the highway was dead, dude. The freeway.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I've been
that's-
kind
I
of
mean-
keeping track of like not purposely, but at the same time noticing it trickle. But during the week, it gets back up and popping, and it may be just because one, it was raining today. But two, the weekends seem to die off right now. And then during
Yeah,
the
I've
week,
seen
you get a lot
that.
of traffic. A lot of people having to do shit. Maybe it's essential, shit going around. Go move this, go move that, get this, get that. But it is a little, I don't know. It's
I
kind
don't know.
of
I only have a 6 mile drive, and it's all in town.
right. Well,
So, and then of course
how's in
where
town?
I live, I have at least two supermarkets to pass by. I have,
Oh
obviously a
shit,
hardware
Lucas got
store,
it.
things like that.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
hey, hop out, bro.
Yeah, you need to
I'm
hop
trying
out
to
of the
catch you
party.
through the mic.
Yeah.
The
Achoo,
headset.
motherfuckers!
Oh
But
man.
If I'm being
and then
100% honest with you guys, oh sorry, go ahead, Ian.
oh no, you go ahead.
Apologies.
No.
I'm almost like 98% sure that my wife and I both already had this back in December.
It's funny
See, and
you
I
mentioned that.
thought that too with a buddy of mine. See, because you're not the
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay. So my VP had it as well,
Yeah.
or something similar to it. It actually hospitalized him, and then ended up with pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
So and he had it, and he was like, "Man, it's been ongoing for about a week, and had that one, and hospitalized for a night,
And
and
they
then
didn't know
came
what it
back, and
was,
then they
right?
started treating him. They did all sorts of testing on him, and nothing came back. Well, obviously because one, we probably didn't have the right test for it. I also had another coworker that had explained that her daughter had the same thing. She was kind of felt sick for about a week, and then ended up hospitalized for about 3 nights,
Right.
and then was treated for pneumonia.
I know. I got real
Well,
sick too. It was flu-like. I know it was the flu. No, but
Right.
I've never been that sick. And I typically get sick, brush it off, whatever. But this time, and again, I haven't really looked at all the symptoms. Dry coughing. I can't recall. It's been so long if it was dry coughing or not.
High fever,
I
dry
did.
cough.
Okay, so maybe.
big dick,
Well,
something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
mean, I
yeah.
definitely couldn't
So
have had it.
they're saying it's more of like that. Yeah, they're saying it gives you more of like it's a dry cough in the sense that it actually makes you feel it in the back of your throat. You get that throat tickle, sore throat or throat tickle, dry cough, and high fever are all symptoms that are the beginning symptoms of.
Right.
So
Oh, here we go.
So at my work, we had this fucking thing that it's like a little bulletin board in our one of our break trailer room things, right?
Mhm.
And it's got like a list of all the different symptoms that could potentially be, COVID-19. And one of the, I swear to God, one of the symptoms
great.
is
This is gonna be
if
gold.
you have, I think it says like vomiting, diarrhea, dry cough, sore throat, runny nose, or yellowed eyes. And I was like, it took me a second to realize, like, if I'm sorry, but if my fucking eyes are yellow, I'm not coming to work.
Right.
I don't know
Well,
what
that's usually
fucking retarded human being would,
come
because
to
usually
yeah.
that means when you're jaundiced, it means you're in fucking kidney
Yeah.
failure. So
Right.
you
Yeah,
probably
kidney
shouldn't
or
be working.
kidney or liver. Yeah, you got something major going on.
But I mean, that's a lot
Yeah.
of symptoms to put out there. That's like if you're just sick at all.
Well, and then
That's what I'm
and
saying.
that's the thing too. And we were
That's why
talking.
everybody is so scared, and that's why it's so bad. Is because can you imagine how many? Okay, we have a rough estimate of how many confirmed cases there are, right? Especially,
Right.
we'll just take here in California for example. How many people that are very ill-willed? You got to imagine the demographic here. How many people do you think are too fucking afraid to say, "Oh shit, I might have it," and go in and get tested? How many people
I feel
don't
you.
do that?
I feel
There's
you
got to
on
be
that.
a
Well,
fuck ton just
they're
because
trying-
of
they- right.
the static label. There has to be a fuck ton.
Well, there's that, and then of course there's the fears of people that don't have medical right now.
That too.
Mhm.
Obviously
People who
with
can't
everything
afford a
going
day
on.
off, who are
Right, exactly. That can't afford to pay medical bills, or I mean, obviously they're working on all this. They've started to put up more testing sites that are free testing. Granted, but just because you're tested doesn't mean you're treated, right? So
Right.
it,
you have it. Go home
it's
and die.
great
at
to
your
know. Yeah, right, pretty much. So,
Go home and rot in a hole.
crazy.
home. You know how to dig? Yeah. How far down can you dig? I don't know. A good amount. All right. Get to digging, buddy.
Perfect.
Get to digging.
Yeah, I saw a post earlier today. It was like a meme, and it was like 6 feet away. It showed picture of two people 6 feet, keep 6 feet away, and then it showed
Yeah.
someone 6 feet in the ground.
deep.
In the ground, right?
Oh
Yeah.
my
So it's
gosh.
like, is it a coincidence that is the 6 feet a coincidence?
Well, dude,
Just
bringing it
crazy.
back, dude. When they used to tell fucking kids to go underneath their desk if a
For
nuclear
earthquakes.
bomb hit, or
Oh
yeah,
Right.
shit!
or they used to dig
Taking
these
it back.
fucking ditches. I believe that's right. Yeah, I gotta have to look that up, but I think they used to dig these giant ditches, right? And said if you see a bomb go off, dive into the ditch. Yeah, into the mass fucking grave.
That's pretty much what it
Right.
was.
Yeah,
That's
just cleaning
legit.
yourself up,
Bail
right?
in
it.
so the
Make it
people
easy.
that survive
Right.
don't have to come and drag your corpses out of buildings.
Dude, you know what was a big
Smart
awakening
as
for
fuck.
me in high school? When there was like
Puberty.
no, when there was a fear of like chemical, well that too. Holy shit.
Chemical
uh,
warfare,
Chemical
like
warfare,
anthrax
right?
and shit like
And
that.
so
Agent
Yeah.
Orange.
they
Yeah.
had teachers like all fucking like, all right, I know what to do. All right, if anything happens, we're gonna tape up the fucking walls and every little nook and cranny. I'm like,
And we're gonna suffocate in this classroom
I'm like, hold on,
together.
dude. I go, and it was at that point that I go, holy shit, dude, we're being entombed in our own fucking classroom.
Yep.
Like, and then I thought about it, and I go, as I got older and thought about it, I go, that makes sense. Think about it. You have a room of 30 kids, all in a classroom. A bomb goes off, I don't know, let's say 20 miles out, right? And the whole
you're
fucking
dead.
city freaks out. I'm in LA, by the way. And this is all happening in middle school. Everybody's freaking the fuck out. What do? They sound the fucking alarm. Everyone go to your class, go to your teacher, and they will instruct you what to do. You go in the classroom, teacher says, here's some fucking tape. Let's tape up every fucking nook and cranny so that the chemical doesn't come in. Fucking grade A fucking student comes in, let's go teach. Fucking starts taping every fucking little nook and cranny. Air slowly starts to deplete, right? And faster
Yep.
than normal. Because why? You have 30 fucking people
Scared as fuck.
scared as fuck,
Yeah,
hyperventilating
20 by 20
in
foot
one room.
classroom.
Hyperventilating, yeah.
And what
Yeah.
happens? You all pass out. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, at some point,
and
right? You
slowly,
You're not wrong.
asphyxiate,
and
yeah.
slowly, you slowly asphyxiate.
I mean, assuming you sealed the room completely, yeah.
Correct. They said we're gonna close off all the ventilation, all of this, all of that, dude. And I'm like, dude, this isn't like, we just fucking made a giant grave right here. Like easy
Right.
cleanup. Just go into
Yep.
that room. They're all dead. Cool.
Yep. Just burn the whole thing down.
Dude, that was what? Oh, I don't even know what year it was. Early 2000s?
That was, yeah, it had to be, right? You're
Early
talking about
2000s.
9/11?
Yeah,
Around 9/11,
around
they were worried
9/11.
about all that. Yeah, so 2001.
Crazy shit.
Yeah, because that makes sense,
Yeah,
because
that
I was
is
in middle
crazy.
school around that time, too. So that makes sense.
So
But-
I got a couple good points to make.
What's up?
First one, running it back to the whole COVID conversation.
Mm.
So at my work, I actually work with a guy. He works on my shift, not on my production line, but he works at the same facility as me. He is Cambodian, and he has a wife and child back in Cambodia. So he goes back over there a couple times a year,
Right,
sends a
Mhm.
bunch of money and shit over there, right?
right.
Well, this last time that he was coming back, he had a 6-hour layaway in Wuhan.
Oh, shit.
shit.
This was in October. So he comes back
Oh, they
at, like
announced
the
it
end
in,
of
like,
October.
Yeah.
December.
And I got sick as fuck
What?
the day, like 2 days before Christmas. 2 days
Really?
before Christmas. I just kind of pushed it off because usually when I don't get sick very often, but when I do, it's right around that time of year.
Right.
I don't know if it's the cold, if it's like a mixture of my allergies kicking my ass, and then I get the cold or I get the flu or whatever. But like everybody else is saying, man, that flu kicked my fucking ass.
And what, dude?
I
what?
thought I was
Who's to
fucking
say?
dying at one point.
Now, okay, all conspiracy theories away, and let's just say natural cause. right?
Hard facts.
Human nature, Mother Nature. They've been eating bat fucking soup for fucking years, right?
Millennia.
There are plenty of coronaviruses out there, SARS, and this is now, according to the CDC or the WHO or whatever, it's considered SARS-2. There's whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
SARS, MERS, smallpox.
Which is funny that you mentioned that. Now, granted, we haven't made any contact since then or ever. But around that time is when I got sicker than a dog. I'm not saying your homeboy came back and brought the Wuhan flu over here
He brought it from China.
from China. But okay,
China.
let's say it's been out for a little while, but we just considered it normal flu, right? Because nobody was testing for COVID. Everybody was just like, yeah,
Right.
you just
Everybody
got the
was like,
flu,
"Oh
go
no,
home."
you got normal influenza."
Right, and then
Right.
all of a sudden it pops off like crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I'm not
Well,
a fucking doctor.
the fact that they
Well,
announced
I
this,
am,
it was
and let
a
me just
known
tell-
problem.
Right.
In the middle of December, it was known that China had a major issue. There was no name to it at the time, and yet we didn't start really taking any type of making any major moves until almost 3 weeks later.
Right. Because it was
With
like a
us
big
doing
deal.
as
It
much
was-
business as we do with China, we have people flying in and out of there daily.
Dude, I
Yeah.
ordered
Hourly.
push buttons from China.
Yeah.
Right? And then I was like, holy shit, dude. They got me. They fucking got me, dude. I go, what if that package comes and I get the fucking Roni. And I
The Roni
stop
Coroni's
myself.
on the envelope.
Right, it's
and you
in,
have to
it's
open it up, and
sealed
you're like,
perfectly in
"Yeah!"
this little
Just
bag,
Right.
just like a little bag of Coke sitting there waiting for me to open it. Pow! Gotcha, fool.
Open it up. What is
So
this
the
stuff?
apparent-
Is this cocaine?
Yeah, God.
Tony
The
Smith
apparent
said,
data
that
states
was
that
some
it can
bunk ass
live
shit.
1 day on cardboard and up to 3 days on plastic and sealed surfaces such as
Okay.
stone,
I heard
metal.
it was 12 days on metal surfaces
Okay.
They just announced it on the
because
news.
it thrives in the cold.
now.
Bringing that up, since you guys brought that up. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the video of that black doctor chick saying that that's all crap. Now, again, everything with a grain of salt. I'm not saying that she's right. And just because she's got a doctor's coat doesn't mean I'm going to fucking believe what she says. They say question
Wait,
your
wait,
doctors.
wait. You said black doctor?
Yeah. Okay. What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Okay.
It's just it piqued my interest. It's not something you hear every day.
Okay, well, I was just gonna say regular doctor, but if I was gonna describe the lady, yeah, she's a black doctor. Anyways, it's on YouTube.
It's kinda
You
cool,
can look
man.
it up. But she's going on this rant, right? And she's talking about, she's like, they're lying to you. And the whole thing with the video was about they're bringing 5G in, and they're using this radiation.
I did. Okay, yeah. So I did hear something about that. I heard that supposedly this whole 5G thing was the root cause of, like, there's people that had same symptoms that you would get if you were exposed to radiation for long periods of time. So essentially it's radiation poisoning that you were getting
Yes.
from the 5G. And what the solution was to that was to give them a flu. So you have this strain of influenza to kind of counteract the 5G consequences, for lack of a better term.
So
And I thought that was kind of out there,
I
but
haven't seen anything about that, but I mean, I could see where it's going. Now, my
Right.
concern with that was
I have a video.
she
I
was
have a
talking
video I can
about the
send you.
virus, right? And then that it is a virus, and she's saying she's been dealing with it, and that the virus can be killed at 80-degree weather. She said it's a virus. The entity itself is a virus, and it can be killed just like any other virus at 80 degrees and frozen and essentially broken apart at lower temperatures. And she's
so
like,
pretty much just don't be a basic bitch.
she's pretty much saying, look, if you got a healthy immune system, even just being around somebody with a regular flu. Again, I am not a doctor, but this is just what she's saying.
Right.
Being around somebody with a regular flu, you're not going to get the flu unless your immune system is not up to par.
Right.
Right.
Obesity,
Well,
smoking.
they were talking about
like
that,
that.
too.
Diabetes.
Right.
But one of the things they brought up today, I heard, was that they were seeing it's not a huge number, but there are young people dying from this.
Yes, there are.
And they were talking about how some people, even though they're healthy, their immune systems can overreact to something, and eventually it can
Genetics.
cause them. Well, it can cause their immune system to attack everything, including their own vital organs at the
Correct.
time, and cause vital organs to
It's
shut
trying
down
to
and
figure out what
collapse.
to do with that.
Right.
Um,
So I don't know, I can't remember the medical term, but
what her point being was that she was trying to make a really good point here, in that AIDS or HIV is a virus,
right.
just like any
Right.
other virus. It's a virus.
Mhm.
If this was the case with COVID, that it could stay on surfaces for up to 10, 5, 100 days, whatever the hell they want to make it, right? Then we'd all have AIDS.
Right. That's a good point.
Because it is a virus. Just like, AIDS, you can kill it with bleach. COVID, you can kill it with bleach.
Right, of course, because
Right.
but
So
it's
what
spread
you're, what
via
you're recommending
bloodborne
to the
pathogen.
listeners out there is,
Right.
you got some fucking Clorox sitting underneath your sink, chug that shit.
Negative.
No, no.
Not
Stay away,
recommending any of
stay
that.
away from the Tide Pods. Stay
No
away
Tide
from-
Pod
Did you guys-
challenges.
did you
Oh,
Don't be
hear about
snorting
that
laundry
guy in
detergent.
Arizona?
the guy in Arizona.
No.
You fucking. So supposedly,
The couple, right?
no. I think
Oh,
it was
okay.
just a single guy.
Okay.
So when President Trump came out and said that, we're hoping that there's going to be some sort of essentially revelation coming from this experimental drug, not an experimental drug, it was a drug that was used back in the day for malaria, right? It was used to
You
cure
are
malaria.
talking about the couple. It was a couple that died.
Oh, I didn't realize that it was a couple. I thought it was just one guy. The guy that drank the aquarium tank cleaner
Yeah,
or whatever
the,
it was because it contained the
there's-
same chemical.
Chloroquine and chloroquine or something
Yes.
like that.
Yes, hydrochloroquine is what it was.
Right.
And it was in one of those cleaning tablets, and he fucking took them, and he died.
Right.
And they're trying to blame. Oh, it's Donald Trump's fault. He was
He
the one
told
that was
us
saying
to-
that it was going to work, and
Darwinism.
we're like,
Uh,
what?
actually-
That's
yeah.
exactly what I said. 'Cause
Darwinism.
there's like a whole group of people in Nigeria that did the same thing,
Oh,
and they all
dude.
fucking died too. And it's like, guys, come on.
Sounds like some
He's not
Charles
Jesus.
Manson shit.
Yeah, it sounds like these guys were just trying
Well,
to follow a
actually,
fucking
that
cult
whole
that
Nigeria
somebody else
thing-
started up.
I think there was somebody who was getting a bunch of people in Nigeria to drink chlorine water or something like that, or it's essentially Clorox or bleach, because it was gonna cure them of like AIDS or some shit like that, and he like was killing people. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but I think he was like a pastor of some sort who came up with this weird concoction of Clorox bleach and stuff.
Sounds like too many
The
people are drinking
oh
the
my
punch.
God, yes. Pastor gives bleach to Ugandans. U.S. pastor runs network giving 50,000 Ugandans bleach based on a miracle
wow.
cure. Yeah, dude, he was straight giving them bleach, and they were giving it to their kids, dude. Just feeding them this shit to cure AIDS. Crazy shit, dude.
That was pretty crazy. People do crazy things in upset times.
He looks evil as fuck, too. He's like
I've
some
always
young
been
guy.
more of a rape and pillager myself, but
God.
to each their own, mass murder, whatever.
Oh, man.
He was just channeling his inner Jim Jones, bro.
But anyways, back to the doctor. Her thing was that they're falsifying a lot of stuff with this. That she's like, this is just a virus, like not just like any other. This isn't infectious, just like anything else. I'm not gonna downplay it or upplay it. Her point being was that she was trying to give you this example of like, yo, if this virus could not be killed and stayed on surfaces for longer than that, we'd all have AIDS in that if that was the case. AIDS is a virus
Right.
just like COVID is. And she's like, the one thing that I will guarantee you will hang on is a fungus.
Mm-hmm.
Funguses cling. They clench.
Oh yeah, especially to lungs. Yeah,
Oh,
like,
yeah, especially-
most of the
Have you
time,
guys
yeah.
have you guys ever played that mobile game Plague?
Yeah, plague. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You know what's funny? I think right now it's like super popular of all fucking things.
I would imagine,
I-
because everybody's trying to predict what's going to happen.
Everybody's playing Plague Inc. to save the world. I got it. As long as we don't get it in
Yeah,
Iceland.
98% mortality
Oh,
rate.
shit.
Yeah.
Iceland got it. Fuck, we're fucked.
All right.
Oh, the mosquitoes got it.
Oh,
Oh,
but
man.
hey, what
It's
about that?
over. It's
I thought
over.
about that the
Yeah,
other
and
day.
that's been speculation a lot too. Is that
I don't.
well?
Yeah.
No, no, no. What
I
happens
know.
if you get a mosquito who sucks somebody's blood, and then dips over to the guy next door, and then sucks that dude's blood, and you got a little intermission there. How do you explain that? You're like, "Fucking dude, I didn't even leave the house. How the fuck?"
I guess it would depend on how long the virus could sustain life on the mosquito.
Yeah.
Inside the mosquito, you mean?
Inside of it.
Well,
yeah.
and it depends on if you and that's the thing too is with mosquitoes. Like a lot of times people like to slap them, and like that's the only way they could regurgitate into your skin, right? Like they've talked about that most virus like you talk about HIV. HIV
Right.
is bloodborne pathogen passed. Like it does.
Mhm.
Someone can't just essentially spit on you.
Right.
Like they have to be
Exactly.
able to spit
Right.
on an open wound or micro
Right.
tears. That's what generally causes the HIV transfer is micro tears in the skin while having
Right.
intercourse,
Wow.
or
Spit in my ass.
Well, in all honesty,
Yeah.
that's what it's from. That's why it's such an epidemic with the gay community.
right? Because you're
His
using
butthole linings tear, boys.
yeah
Oh,
colon
man.
yeah small yeah
Rip and dip.
yep.
Yo, rip and dip.
Rip and dip. Oh, shit. Oh fuck, man. Other than that, how's daily life? On top of this shit. I mean,
That's good, man. I got a lot of stuff done.
I saw
the
you
last
built that
few nights.
computer.
I did.
Or
I built the
building?
computer. It's all put together. Well, it's all the components are installed. I just need to hook everything up now.
Dope. Now I'm trying to get Ian to get his going or do something.
Yeah, do it, Ian. Now's the time.
Yeah,
IBM stocks are
yeah.
down.
Yeah, you actually have a great point there. Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
That was the
Is
reason
this the
why I
time
kind
to
of
buy
jumped on
again?
it when I
I
did.
thought they were
Yep.
going up. What's going on
Nope,
with that?
they went down, bro. Their stocks took a hard hit when the Dow dropped those 2,000 points like a week and a half ago, whatever it was.
Damn.
Yeah, I've been watching it because I know that I'm
So-
in like the process of a build, so I was always kind of watching just to see.
Does that mean Hitachi ones are on sale?
Hitachi
You bet your sweet
Wong.
ass.
Oh shit! The power of the Hitachi one, baby.
That's right. You know what stocks are up though?
What's that?
Cannabis.
Really?
Oh yeah, I
Cannabis
believe
is
it.
steadily
Yes.
going
Well, dude,
up,
what are you
man.
talking? What are you talking about, man?
Steadily
Everyone's at
going up.
home. They got nothing to do.
There's
Like,
nothing
what
but
Just
better
getting
time to
smoke
get
weed all
stoned
day?
out of their minds,
Bro,
bro.
are you
What
okay?
time?
So, Lucas, I don't know if you're getting any time off this week. We're getting starting of the week. We're only working until Wednesday, and we're getting essentially a 4-day weekend. I know we've been working the
For
weekends,
Easter.
so technically
Yeah.
we get 4 days. Are you getting any time off for that?
Well,
I'm
what's
curious.
interesting is
Leading
so
to another
the
question.
union, so the union that we have that represents us at my company, back in the day, one of the like original CBAs, the collective bargaining agreements, because there was such a high populace of Portuguese Catholics, they bargained to have Good Friday off. So and for some reason that's always slipped through the cracks in our negotiations. So we get a Good Friday off every year.
Huh.
Nice.
So I also have a 3-day weekend this weekend, which I
So-
mean, Good Friday, the Monday after Easter,
The reason I'm getting to this
six
because
six in one hand, half a dozen in the other, right?
essential worker, right? And literally working the weekends now, and till who knows what day from now because of all of this shit. Because of the food industry that we're in, and
Mhm.
I'm not gonna get into specifics, but we're probably gonna work for a long time. So I'm actually
Big time,
kind
yeah.
of pumped to be able to quarantine.
yeah, just to see what's going on, right? Just to like
Yeah.
relate, ish. Like
Like, I mean,
it'd
I'm
be
so
interesting
used
to
to
get
leaving.
someone that has been doing this and has some type of that works in an industry that doesn't require them to work at this time to get them in here and talk.
That'd be dope. To kind of get
Yeah,
a
you know what? That would
different-
be kind of cool.
And just get a
I
different
just-
perspective because we're very one-sided. We're all working.
That's what I'm saying.
Obviously,
Right,
our
right.
daily lives haven't really been affected much, other than we're just washing our hands a bit more than normal, and
Yeah.
Well, I can
and minding
I can tell you,
distance and
my sister works for InShape, right?
Mhm.
right.
She has some special job or some shit there, right? And she has been off since I've been closed, and I see her posting a lot of shit on her social media. So I would imagine that the people that are being quarantined or quarantining themselves, or just really
Dude,
digging their feet into the mud,
can you
I would
imagine
imagine they're getting bored out of their mind.
being in New York right now,
Yeah.
dude?
Oh,
Oh,
living in
God.
like the Bronx, dude, living in like a
Dude.
project, that would fucking suck.
Like,
Well, did you guys see what happened in Oakland
uh-uh.
this last week?
What happened?
Like people were doing
Uh,
sideshows. There's groups of
Oh,
like
no.
1,000 people just all forming together doing
all in the streets.
sideshows.
Yeah,
all
they were
dying.
throwing
Yeah, and,
rolls of toilet paper over the
Oh,
street
no
lights and
way!
the
Are you
bro.
serious?
It was wild. Oh yeah, dude, it was crazy.
I was there.
It was like you remember the hyphy era back in like
Yeah.
the,
All the-
mid to early 2000s. Oh yeah,
Is
Yeah,
this,
it got brought
is
back,
this
dude.
the
It
was
rebirth of the
popping
hyphy
again,
era,
dude.
bro?
I
Yeah.
kind of hope it is.
It is,
man.
bro.
I kind of
Yeah,
hope
Mac
it is, 'cause
Dre's
that shit was
coming
cool.
back.
Bro. Did he ever have a son? It'd be nice to see if, maybe he had like 5 or some shit, like Marley did, you know?
I'm sure he does. I'm sure they probably just don't. They just don't follow that same
What if they do,
Uh,
man?
will
That's
to
a-
produce. You know what?
some
I
shoes
hope
to
they
fill.
do.
That's some shit to fill,
Yeah,
dude.
absolutely. I mean, look at Eazy-E's son. He never really did a whole lot with music. You would think he would, like even Ice Cube's son.
Hmm.
Like you would think those guys, they would have had it made. They already had the whole lineup for him. They had the
Right.
hard part done.
Yeah, no shit, huh? You got the name.
But yeah, but you know what? If it's something that you don't want,
That's
I mean,
true.
you're not going to do it no matter
You
what.
know, and that's true, like, cause I grew up with my dad being a carpenter and my uncles being carpenters, and for some reason, dude, like when I was
It's not something
younger,
you're interested in, huh?
I was good at it because I grew up with it. I mean, I could build you a
Mhm.
fucking cabinet. I can set up your house, dude. I mean, you name it, right? At such a young age, and I was like, this isn't it, bro. This isn't it.
Yeah.
And I don't regret anything or where I'm at now, especially I enjoy what I do very much. But it's like, you're good, you're skilled at this fucking one thing, growing up, taking the legacy essentially, and you're right. If it's just not your thing, it's just not your thing.
Yeah. I did that for a while. My grandfather, back in the day, he had a printing company. It was a printing company and like a small scale paper product, like corrugate paper product.
Right.
And fuck, I did that. That was like my first job. I did that for when I was a kid. You know what I mean? I'd work the summers and shit like that.
Right.
And under like the temp law, so I was working as a temp worker, and I think I was still making like fucking $20 an hour or something back then, 15, something like that. It was good money for somebody to just do a little summer gig.
Right.
But my dad, his 2 brothers, and his sister, even my mom, they all worked for that company. So growing up, that was like it was like the normal thing. So smelling ink and EB ink and stuff like that, like that was like home to me. So when I
Just
started
like a big
working
old-
for PSC, you
Yeah.
know what I mean, it was a cool deal. I was like, yeah, I'm staying in the family business. You know what I mean? Same company that one of my uncles and my dad's sister.
You ever get like
That's the same company.
you ever get like a whiff of ink and go, oh, grandpa.
Kinda.
You know what I mean?
I don't
Like
really,
that memory.
I don't really smell it so much. But anytime I smell like an oil-based ink, I'm like, oh man, this smells like my childhood.
Right. And I
But
was-
you know what? I also came to that realization too, man. I was like, you know what? I don't want to sit here and fucking break my back until I'm 60 years old doing this shit. It's
Right.
not for me.
See, and that's what you kind of got to look into. What are you gonna do with?
I think this is going to have a positive change in industry. I think we've been having issues with blue collar work, finding people that actually want to do blue collar work, or the things that help people do or carry on their daily lives,
And- but-
or what we would coin a normal life.
But there's also such a lack in the new generation in wanting to do blue collar work.
The will, yeah, the
Right.
the principle of being able to complete 8 hours
Tinker
of
and
I'm not putting myself
Yeah,
in a special
generally.
somewhat
spot
manual
here,
labor.
and by no means, but I mean, it takes a lot, or it takes a while actually to find somebody who's willing to do that. Like you said, tinker and
Mhm.
and observe things and really go, oh, why does that do that? Instead of Well, do I gotta do
Who
manual
cares?
labor?
Well, and to be honest with you,
You know?
dude, nowadays is great. Are you kidding me, dude? Had cell phones been where they're at now when I was in high school, the things I would know and or at
Oh
least
yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
the availability of information is just ridiculous. So you could train yourself to do any pretty much trade job, um, with a little bit of elbow grease and some give a shit. You know what I
Right.
mean? You can get the
Well, I
basics
mean,
of it,
bro,
and
just think of how many people use YouTube as a resource for things that they don't know how to do.
Dude,
Exactly.
most
That
of my hobbies come from
where was
YouTube.
that 20 years ago?
Yeah.
You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah.
People
Is
didn't
that a
have
good
that.
thing? I don't know, man. Keep you busy for sure.
You know what, man? I've had a lot of benefit using
Yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah.
guide walkthrough videos on YouTube. I've had a lot of success doing it.
Yeah,
I've also
that's true.
gotten really frustrated trying to
Yeah.
find stuff, but
It's-
at the
you
same
gotta-
time,
Yeah, that's that too. You got to be careful. You're not getting fed bullshit.
right.
Yeah.
That's what the comment
Well,
section's
you know
for.
what?
Dude,
I-
I found.
I put together that fucking computer today, and I pretty much only watched like 2 minutes of a fucking 80-minute video. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I can figure this out.
Dude, I found this video on YouTube.
My wife just said, "Yeah, but you still haven't plugged it in yet."
Dude, yeah, and
Good point.
it's funny because I haven't felt this excited in so long. I found this YouTube video of this guy who took apart this joystick, right? Like this new joystick that I got, and he took it apart because there was a slight issue over time, right? Where something needs to be sanded down, dude. The guy took the thing apart, told you detail by detail what he was doing, why he was doing it, the process of doing it, and I mean all the way down to the bitter end to the back to putting it together, right? And the amount of detail and instruction and just the things he was showing you was like none I've ever seen in any other YouTube video as far as
See,
and maybe I
it's
haven't found it.
See, it's guys like that I just throw a sub at him. I don't even care what other videos he puts
Dude,
out. If you
I
put the one out that
literally-
I needed and I was able to benefit from it, you're getting a sub and a thumbs up for me.
Dude, I sub
for
thumbs
sure.
it up and I sent him that exact pretty much what I told you right now.
YouTube courtesy.
I gave him the comment,
Yeah.
dude, and I was like, yo, this is the most amazing video, and I don't want to sound sarcastic. The amount of, like what I just told you right now, right? And I go, please do more of this. This is so great, dude. The fact that you went into this much detail and work into it, hands down, buddy. Hats off to you. And he responded back, which is super dope. He goes, you don't know how much I appreciate that. And he highlighted the comment,
Yeah.
you know?
That's hella cool.
I was like, dude, it's just no. Everyone's trying to rush these videos out, and just
yeah,
you get a
everybody's
little
just
bit
trying
of
to
info.
crank multiple videos out because they want to increase their chances of making something happen with one of them. It's like, but you gotta put the time in, man.
That's
You gotta make
somebody-
it quality
yeah.
because if it's not, people are gonna watch it for 10 seconds and they're gonna bounce the fuck out.
Yeah.
And you're not.
Yeah,
all
it's
you're gonna
gotta
have
be quality.
all you're gonna have is views at the end of the day, and that doesn't do shit for nobody.
That's somebody who just wanted to put information out, and you can tell,
Right.
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 and that was dope.
You
I
know,
mean,
you know
shit.
what's sad though is unfortunately that's the mindset of most news outlets now.
Right.
It's just fucking
Dumping
mass
information.
feed
Info
everybody,
dump.
just dump
Yeah.
any sort of fucking information about this that we got. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. Let's just
dump
fucking throw it out there.
Yeah.
Let's just get people hyped. You know what I mean? That's such a
Right.
bad tactic to have. Especially in like a country like this. Like I could see if it was like a smaller country like, something like Australia or something like that where they already kind of have the populace pretty much under control, for lack of a better term. But, like
Even the
a
dingoes?
liberty bearing country like ours, that's a really dangerous thing to do.
Yeah.
Right. But you know
Oh.
what? They have that freedom.
I'm
have that freedom.
honestly 100% surprised that there has not been some sort of like crazy cult almost. You know what I mean?
Someone
like some
drinking
like
the
some sort
juice,
of like
drinking the
yeah, I mean yeah, but obviously not so outlandish, but you know what I mean? Like something, well like the whole a fucking Antifa. That's somewhat of a cult, you know what I mean? Which is without the religious aspect.
how
I mean,
about this?
they're more
How
social
about-
justice warriors, I think is what they call themselves.
How about it's been so nice not hearing about everybody's bullshit recently.
Yeah,
That's
it has
true.
been.
Yeah, when was the last
we've
time
all
you
been
heard about
focused on the
somebody being
same
confused
thing.
about which fucking
For
bathroom to
for
use?
once in
Now
a
that they
long
now that they gotta
time,
wash their hands as many times as they do now.
for once in a long time, you know how the old saying, an enemy of my of what is
A
it?
friend of my enemy is.
A friend of my enemy is my friend, or
Is a enemy of mine or some shit like that, or
Yes, yeah, I get what
just
you're saying.
butchered
I know
it.
what you're saying.
Okay, the idea
enemy
here,
of my enemy is a friend of mine, or something like that,
something
right?
like that, right? The
Yeah,
idea is
along
that
those
for
lines.
once in a long time, finally we have something that has grouped everybody together, put all the bullshit aside, gay, straight, trans, guns, no guns, and that's for another topic about people who were against guns now buying guns. But anyways, all of that bullshit has been
Mm.
put aside and gone into full community mode.
Has it
Right.
though?
Well,
I don't know,
it's
man.
either.
Let me
I
just
think it's
set my.
more for selfishness.
That's what I
In a
think,
sense.
because my personal experience just today, like I told you guys earlier, I had taken my dogs out for a walk in between the storms, right? So I had taken my dog out, my hound dog, Blue, and all of a
My
sudden,
boy Blue?
I'm
Hell yeah.
I'm walking, yeah, your boy Blue. I'm walking around, and I keep hearing this car come by, and I look over, and it's the same fucking car 3 times. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is this broad looking at? Like, I'm half expecting her to roll her window down and start screaming at me to get my ass back inside or something fucking stupid. You know what I mean? And I'm just like kind of sitting there at the stop sign, and like I saw her come up the third time, and she's just like breaking her neck, staring at me, and I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you looking at? Like,
forgot to
hey,
put pants on.
my fucking balls were hanging out. No wonder it was so
Yeah,
cold.
Luke
You know what I mean?
Jr.'s out.
Luke
Well,
Jr.'s
the way
out.
she was looking at me, you would have fucking thought.
Yeah,
It was
fuck.
it was just kind of like, is that what we're coming to now? I feel like somebody's gonna report me to the fucking Gestapo.
Well, there's a Karen everywhere, brother. So
There's a
the
Karen
Karens are out.
everywhere.
Can
They
I
have
speak
nothing
to your
better to
manager,
do.
please?
Does she have a short haircut? Oh my god.
I don't think she did. I think it was longer.
The Karens are out in
shit.
force, bro. And
I'm sure
someone
the
they got to bitch
attitude was
about
the same.
something, you know.
All right, boys.
Yeah.
Well,
Gotta-
we're at an hour. I think we're gonna cut it for this pilot. But super cool conversations. I appreciate that. You know what? Next
Most
time,
Absolutely.
definitely.
let's see if we can get It'd be nice to get someone who's actually have had to quarantine.
Been sheltering in place. Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
You know, it'd be nice to get somebody in and give us a talk. I don't know how we'll do it since we've kind of been doing this through Xbox
I'm more
Live, but
curious too as the financial strain. I can only imagine how that feels.
I've been curious about
Oh,
that
yeah.
too. Yeah.
I also have a mild curiosity of it.
And so again, a big thank you to everybody who's out there, and mostly the doctors and nurses and shit. I know we all play a part, and I know we downplay what we do, and to a point, but definitely keep safe out there, everybody, and yeah,
Wash your hands and check the septic tank.
wash your hands, you filthy fucking animals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't use
All
public restrooms.
Right on.
All right, thanks for joining us on Hot and Sparky Live tonight. So everybody stay safe and take care. Later.
Later.